They said it was a distraction. They said it was Elon time. But after yesterday's Q1 earnings call, the debate is officially over. Tesla is no longer a car company that happens to build robots. It's a robotics company that used cars as its first training ground. Today we're breaking down the most consequential earnings call in Tesla's history. While the headlines are going to scream about delivery misses and automotive margins, they're missing the forest for the trees. Today, Tesla officially began gutting its legacy past to fund a multi-trillion-dollar future in physical AI. The biggest bombshell? The Fremont factory. So for years, the Model S and the Model X were the flagship of the Tesla brand. And as of today, those lines are being ripped out. Why? To make room for the world's first mass-scale humanoid production line. Elon confirmed in the call that Optimus Gen 3 production begins this quarter. So we aren't looking at prototypes in a lab anymore. We're looking at a targeted capacity of 1 million units per year out of the Fremont location alone. So as a student of business, I've seen pivots before, but usually it's a slow turn. What we're seeing at Tesla isn't a turn, it's a controlled demolition of the past to build the future. Now, to be fair, this kind of bet the farm move is not unprecedented. Think back to 2021. Mark Zuckerberg rebranded Meta Platforms and poured over $70 billion into the metaverse through Reality Labs. But here's the difference, and it's everything. Zuckerberg was betting on a behavioral shift, that billions of people would choose to live in a virtual world. Elon isn't betting on behavior, he's betting on economics. The world already has a labor shortage. The demand is already there. Tesla isn't trying to create a new reality, it's trying to solve an existing bottleneck. That doesn't make it risk-free, though, but it does make it fundamentally different. Tesla wants to automate the real world. While Zuck was losing $17 billion a year on digital avatars, Musk is spending that same capital on terafab and physical AI. Look at the Fremont factory. Zuckerberg never gutted a profit center like the Model S line to build VR headsets. But Elon is doing exactly that. He's taken the very thing that made Tesla a trillion-dollar company, that premium sedan, and ripping it out to make room for 1 million robots a year. Is it a gamble? Absolutely. It's the same all-in energy that almost broke Meta. Personally, I'd much rather own the infrastructure that builds 10 million physical workers than the infrastructure that builds a digital living room. One solves a global labor crisis, the other solves boredom. Tonight's call proved that Tesla is willing to bleed the auto business dry if it means winning the race to the first billion-dollar humanoid robots. But a body is useless without a brain. So that brings us to terafab. That was the term used on the call to describe the new 1 terawatt AI compute facility. Tesla's spending over $20 billion this year on CapEx alone. Where is it going? Not to paint shops or stamp presses for cars. It's going into the H100 clusters and the new AI5 chip. Musk revealed that the AI5 chip is officially in tape-out. So for those who aren't chip nerds, that means the design is officially locked and the blueprints have been sent to the factory. I had to look that one up myself. The AI5 chip is a brain that will run both the Cybercab, which, by the way, enters volume production this month, and Optimus. This is vertical integration at a scale no other robotics company, not even Figure or Boston Dynamics, can touch right now. There was also a term dropped on the quarterly call today, digital optimus. So Musk isn't just selling a robot, he's selling a digital twin ecosystem. Before an Optimus even steps into a factory floor, it's being trained in a digital version of that facility using xAI's Grok integration. This solves the deployment gap. So most companies, when they buy a robot, they spend 6 months trying to figure out how to use it. Digital Optimus means the robot arrives on day 1 with 10,000 hours of virtual training already in its head. This is a massive B2B moat. In fact, we did a deep dive into this very topic with the last podcast I dropped this past weekend. So if you're inclined, please go and check it out. Lastly, let's talk money. The car bearers are going to point to the 50,000 unit inventory surplus. I see that differently. That surplus is exactly why they're shifting into robotics. The auto market is saturated, the labor market is starving. Tesla's 21% GAAP gross margin is still generating the cash flow needed to fund this $25 billion robotics expansion without hitting the capital markets. Musk said it himself. Demand for humanoid robots will eventually hit 20 billion units. Even if he is right, and Tesla captures even 10% of that automotive business becomes a rounding error. We are witnessing the birth of a new industrial era. So I'll leave you with one final thought. We've seen this movie play out before. In 2021, Mark Zuckerberg went all in and eventually had to pivot back to reality after burning through $80 billion and being forced into a year of efficiency. Now Tesla is raising its capex to $25 billion a year, while core sales of the Model 3 and the Y are starting to soften. Is Elon building a visionary future, or is he falling into the same capex trap that nearly broke Meta? If the robot market takes 5 years to materialize instead of 2, does Tesla have the stomach to stay all in, or are we looking at the biggest efficiency pivot in history by 2027? I want to hear your take in the comments. Is this a genius move or a capital trap? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the episode, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. We've got a lot more coming on humanoids, AI, and the companies that are defining the next decade of robotics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. This is Lars, and you've been tuned into The Robotic Life.